Good day, Methodist Dave here, professional theologian and Bible teacher in my secret underground bunker at my headquarters somewhere in the United States. We come today with our daily devotional for Friday, April 24th. Let me turn your attention to chapter 24 of the book of Proverbs, verse 5. A wise warrior is better than a strong one, and a man of knowledge than one of strength. Sometimes stronger is not better. There's a saying I like to use. Old age and treachery will win over youth and exuberance every time. See, youthful exuberance and strength is no match for old age experience and treachery. This is clearly demonstrated during the 100 Years' War between England and France, when a young king from England named Henry V leads an invasion of France to assert his right to the French throne. And he has been battling for months and months and months through the French countryside. His army is tired, it is ill-supplied, ill-equipped, and definitely outnumbered and outclassed by the French army. And he comes to a little area, a little village called Agincourt, and he forms his battle lines there. And on the other side of the field is the French army, filled with heavy cavalry, knights in full armor. Everything that you think about when you see a knight in shining armor, these are the guys. This is the pinnacle of the armored knight. Lance, helmet, fit metal claw, metal gloves, everything. Legs, arms, back. Everything is covered in armor, and huge horses that are even wearing armor themselves. And these are the best, nobility, expert professional soldiers going up against part-time warriors, but warriors who are armed with the English longbow. Very difficult bow to use because it requires a lot of strength to pull, but England has been forcing its citizens for the last several hundred years to spend every Sunday afternoon practicing archery on the commons. So all the men who are serving as Henry's longbowmen have been practicing the longbow their entire lives. They are good and strong with their bow arm. So Henry entices the knights to attack. It had rained the night before, so the entire field is muddy and boggy, and these heavy horses in their armor, carrying the knights in their armor, go sloshing through the mud, and they don't make good time. It's very rough going. So they slowly making their way across the battlefield while the English are raining down arrows from their longbows, which have a metal tip and are able to penetrate the French armor. Well, the best of the French nobility, the heavy cavalry, was wiped out that day. A force much stronger than Henry's army was defeated because of the strategic use of archers and the strategic placement of his men. Wise warrior is better than a strong warrior. What problem do you have? What are you going up against? It seems insurmountable. Well, maybe it is. So if you're going up against something stronger, do it the wise way. A fellow I used to work with served in the army in West Germany. And during their war games, they would have to load tanks onto railroad cars to move them across country because they couldn't drive down the road. So they needed to move their tanks to locations via the train. And it just took a long time to load these tanks onto the rail cars. It was a very difficult process, and it was hard work. And one of the officers was frustrated by how long it took. So he told one of his sergeants, I says, you find me your 5 laziest men. Excuse me, sir? You heard me. The 5 laziest men you have. And tell them they have to load the tanks. So the sergeant found the 5 laziest guys that they knew of in the unit and says, you guys are responsible for loading these tanks. And these guys sat down and figured out the easiest way to do it because they're lazy. They figured out the easiest, most efficient way to load tanks, and they developed a system that the Army still uses to this day. Wisdom is better than strength. If you have a question about this or any other subject, drop me an email, methodistdave@gmail.com. Please hit the like, share, and subscribe. And until tomorrow, please be good to one another.